friends, it's me and baby Scarlett again, and today we're going to read The Grumbly Bee. The Grumbly Bee. From dawn to dusk the busy bees buzzed from flower to flower, filling their socks with pollen. Every bee knows the cupboards must be full by the time winter comes. Some bee has found lots of sweet, juicy pollen. Every bee gathers for the dance of direction. Buzz north across a blooming red sea, then buzz west over a carpet of gold. Behind an orange hedge is a wildflower field, bursting with purple poppies, popping pollen. Every bee buzzes away as quick as can be. Glib tries to keep up, but he's much too slow. With no bee to follow, Glib doesn't know which way to go. All he can see is gray. So, Glib has to follow his nose. When Glib finally arrives, every bee is buzzing busily. There are no flowers free. This is my flower, Glib grumbles, chasing some bee away. No bee owns the flowers, some bee laughs. They're almost empty anyway, every bee whispers. Grumbly Bee's too late, as usual. No matter how busy Glib buzzes, his socks never get full. One day, Glib's nose starts twitching and itching. What is that pollenicious smell? Glib asks. No bee can smell it. It must be all that nectar in your belly, every bee laughs. Glib's nose keeps itching and twitching, so he decides to follow it. No bee will miss me, Glib thinks sadly. Over swaying fields of grassy meadows, Glib zigs. Through twittering forests and shady glades he zags. Far farther than any bee has ever gone. Glib ends up in the city. He doesn't like this strange place one bit. There's no bee anywhere, no trees or flowers either. But the pollenicious smell draws him on. Suddenly, Glib's eyes grow to twice their size. His nose nearly knots with joy. The rocky hillside is crowded with flowers, and the air is so thick with pollen. Glib's socks fill up all by themselves. Glib knows he should report his discovery, but if he tries to dance directions, every bee will laugh. So he decides to keep it a secret. Every morning, Glib sneaks away to his secret garden. When he returns to the hive, his socks are bulging with pollen. But every bee laughs. Grumbly Bee must have very big socks. It takes a whole day to fill them once. There's all the bees. One terrible night, a freezing frost falls. Blooms crinkle up and their pollen turns brown. Glib doesn't notice that the fields are painted white. It's nice and warm in his secret garden. From dawn to dusk, every bee buzzes extra busily, but the cupboards stay empty. Soon there isn't enough pollen to keep busy bees fed. They get weaker and weaker until they can't get out of bed. One morning, Glib opens a cupboard. It's empty. He opens another cupboard. It's empty too. All the cupboards are empty. Glib buzzes around the hive. Every bee wake up, he cries. Some bees stolen all our pollen. Nobody stirs. I have to tell the queen, Glib decides. No bee tries to stop him. Some bees stolen all our pollen, Glib reports. The queen shakes her head weakly. No bee stole our pollen, Glib, she says. There's just not enough for every bee. I know where there's lots of pollen, says Glib. I fear it's too late, Glib, the queen sighs. No bee strong enough to fly any more. No bee but me, thinks Glib. Over barren fields and plodged meadows Glib zigs. Through still forests and leafless glades he zags. Despite the terrible fear creeping along his wings, what if there was a frost in his secret garden too? Finally, Glib reaches his secret garden. The air is swirling with pollen, but there's no time to stop and smell the flowers. Glib fills his socks and then hurries hivewards, battling the bitter wind all the way. Glib races from bed to bed, popping a pollen grain into each hungry mouth. After making sure some bee takes the juiciest pollen to the queen, Glib heads back out into the cold. Glib is busier than any bee has ever been. Soon other bees are strong enough to join him. It's a race to fill the cupboards before winter arrives, but together they make it. In the spring, the whole hive moves to Glib's secret garden. Glib's socks are always fuller than any bee's, and no bee ever goes hungry again. The end. Bye, friends. Say bye. See you next time, friends.